A really big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
Oh, let's get the light on. There we go. So, I am in St Ives. I'm currently just in a car park. Look, there's the bag on the deck down there. And I've got 1 hour, just over, slightly over 1 hour left on my parking ticket before I need to go home. And I figured, let's have a little bit of a challenge. Let's see what photographs I can get in an hour. So on my way home from down here in Cornwall, I've been staying around St Ives. I was going to go to Dartmoor, but as you can perhaps tell, it is so windy and Dartmoor National Park is just so open and exposed. And I just figured, what a good place to be in the wind. Let's try and make something of it. So yeah, got around about an hour, like I said, and obviously being a landscape photographer, I'm going to take myself away from the town and I'm going to take myself towards that headland over there. And you know, I'm thinking waves, the waves are looking beautiful, the clouds are looking nice, look at all of those lovely rock formations over there. I think we're going to be absolutely fine for subjects, but for time, now that remains to be seen. So to start with, this is the perspective that I was hoping for. See how we're like real side on of these waves. I think this will be a good opportunity to just try some like telephoto wave photography, just try and zoom in on some of these incredible patterns. Look at them as they're falling down. It's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, we'll see how far we can get in. And obviously a quick shutter speed, trying to capture the waves just as they start rolling over. So a bit of a challenge. I'll dump the bag here on this bench, but one good thing is, in terms of the time, we don't need to mess about with the tripod or anything. All right, so first things first, I've popped the camera into shutter priority mode. You can probably see there, and I've put my shutter speed on 1/800th of a second. ISO is on auto, but it's quite low anyway. Middle of the day, it's quite bright, and then the aperture is at the widest open it can be, which, as I'm zooming in on this lens, is usually f6.3, but it's fine. And all I'm trying to do is, we've got this beautiful section here just near us. You can see it now, all the waves are crashing over these rocks. And I'm zooming in pretty much as far as I can go, trying to create some sort of balanced composition between the furthest rocks and the rocks that are closest to us here. And it's all about timing. Of course, we've got that quick shutter speed. So as long as I get the timing right, I'm going to capture them waves at exactly the correct moment, just as they're hitting them rocks and splashing all over the gaff. So photograph number one, done. You know what, I really enjoyed that because it's very different from what I would usually do. I guess whenever I'm photographing waves, moving water like that, I'd always strictly be using the tripod, looking for about 1 second, half a second, something like that. I don't recall a time where I've ever been wanting to freeze the motion of the water like that. And I suppose it was cool because it felt like I was really capturing the energy of the water as it was smashing up against them rocks down there. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to move on. I'm just purely basing everything on my instincts, my eye. These rocks look nice. Simple as that. Let's go and investigate them. Wow, look at this little section down here and this wind. Oh, this is exactly why I didn't want to go somewhere really exposed. Whew. I was not expecting it to be this strong as I came over the top of this headland here, but I wasn't expecting this lovely little view here as well. Oh, look at that, there's so much energy, right? I reckon I'm going to do the same again here, you know. So this is so tricky. The wind is coming directly against us here, but again, really enjoying the prospect of shooting at really quick shutter speeds and just trying my best to capture the energy of these waves as they're crashing up against these, well, jet black rocks here. It's wonderful because the water is such a beautiful colour of aqua, of blue. Oh, that would have been a good one there. And well, it's just like that, waiting for a big wave to really try and capture that power. And I haven't even looked at the settings. They're exactly the same. ISO is on auto, it's down near 64 anyway. 1/800th of a second and f6.3. Quite specifically though, what I'm trying to capture, I'll try and show you here, is actually when after there, look, see, after the wave has crashed, if you look down on this rock, it leaves all these wonderful little waterfalls. See that there? And that is what I think looks really nice down in the foreground of this frame. I'm shooting it as a square crop. I've just popped the Z7 into the 1x1 mode, and yeah, fingers crossed we've got something nice again. But I'll reiterate, really trying to capture the energy of the waves as they're crashing up against the land here. Oh, this is absolute madness. I think I might get some shots out to sea in a sec. A couple of quick tips if you're ever photographing waves like this, really trying to capture the motion of them. Firstly, for me, I think it's important, for my workflow anyway, to use the back button focus, which for me, I always say it's kind of like a crossover between autofocus and manual focus, because I'll use the back button focus to focus on the area. So like for that last image there, for example, it was just one of the rocks down in the foreground. And then when I use the shutter button, obviously, to take the photograph, I'm not affecting the focus. So it's almost like it's locked in the same way it would be as like in manual focus, you know, and it's just essentially separating the shutter button and the focus button, let's call it, rather than the shutter button doing two jobs. And I think in this case, it really helps. And secondly, I think this is really important, and it's not a mode that I use that often, but put your camera into continuous high shooting mode, and as that wave comes in and starts crashing up against the rock, you know, hold your shutter button in and get like 8, 10, 20 shots, however many it takes. And chances are when you get the images back home into post-processing, you're going to have caught the wave at that perfect moment, rather than relying on your own timing, just taking it as a single shot, you know. Right, whoa, this wind, man. I'm going to see if I can get some abstract out to sea, doing something similar, doing the same thing that I've been doing so far, shutter priority mode, probably 1/800th of a second. And then I need to check the time to see if I can go a little bit further down this coast maybe. Oh, this is madness. Oh my gosh. I am going to find myself a bit of shelter on this side. I think to get these more intimate wave photographs, I think I said abstract. They're not really abstract, are they? Just, I'm thinking about popping the Z7 into the DX crop sensor mode and just getting really close in on some of the waves as they're rolling over. Oh, a bit of shelter. Now, before we move on and try and find something a bit more intimate, I'd love to say another massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Now, if you've never heard of Squarespace, they're an all-in-one platform where you could build your own website. But wait, do not be intimidated by that prospect, because with Squarespace, trust me, it is so easy. My own website is through them. They've got loads of templates, really professional looking. You add a little bit of text and a few images, and before you know it, you'll have your website up and running. Once your website is built, it will automatically look wonderful on desktop. It'll look great on a phone. It'll look good on a tablet as well, or like an iPad or something. Squarespace sorts all of that out automatically. And if, like me, you'd like to sell things through your Squarespace website, you could do that as well. They've got plenty of wonderful e-commerce packages, which is what I use to sell my own photography stuff, my prints, my ebooks, calendars, all those sorts of things, and I'm really, really grateful. But yeah, I really want to reiterate how easy it is. Have a little look. With the link below in the description, you'll get a 14-day free trial. Make sure you use that. And there's an offer code, which is Henry Turner. Make sure you use that at checkout, as you will get 10% off your first purchase through Squarespace, which is fantastic. But yeah, if you've got a little bit of a dream to build your website in the new year, definitely have a look at that link, because They are quality. I have used them for years. Wow, look at that. Just as I'm putting my polarizer and my 3-stop ND on, we're getting a bit of light. So I've just checked my phone. I have got 15 minutes left until the car parking ticket runs out. And I mean, it's probably about 5 minutes walk. It's just past that little white sort of row of cafes or whatever it is there. Oh, and the sun's coming out again. But yeah, I don't want to get stung, so this will definitely have to be the last photograph. Now, this is a great example of why I love my telephoto lens so much. So I'll show you up on the screen there. You can see that's wide, that's at 24mm, and we've got all of sort of St. Ives there, which is a beautiful town, by the way. And even that, you know, something like that, it's probably quite a nice photograph. I might even get it. But for this particular image, I'm using a telephoto lens and I'm zooming in on there. Look at that little strip, that little section of rocks there, and there's a wave coming in. Now if you just keep your eye on it, I get the shot like there, boom, and just, we've got the 3-stop on the front, so we're getting a shutter speed of a quarter of a second, half a second. I'm experimenting a little bit, but I love that about the telephoto lens, how you could just be somewhere busy, you could be in a town, but you could just isolate a subject so it looks really solitary, you know, and lonely, and I suppose in a way a little bit minimal. So we'll grab this shot now. The polarizer is helping really well, and I'm sort of hoping that we just get a splash of light from up there, but yeah, we shall see. Oh, the wind, man, the wind, it just makes everything so chaotic, doesn't it? So this has been a bit of a chaotic adventure. I've got 8 minutes left. I should start moving around. I've got 8 minutes left to get back to the van. I might get a bit of a jog on, and I will definitely be getting my final Cornish pasty since I'm down here. Cornwall, you've been wonderful as always. And yeah, I've got the long journey home now, back up north. And I can say it now, can't I? Thank yous for tuning in, and I hope you all have a wonderful new year. I cannot wait to make these videos for you in 2024, or with you in 2024. You're all incredible. Thank you for your support, and I shall see you on the next adventure next year. Out.